Good morning. This presentation is made for Atlas English, and we will expose multiple topics of exchange and the English language, among others. Now, if I introduce myself, my name is Maria Paula Rojas, and the subjects on which I made in my summary Learning Mobility High School, exchange programs as a part of transnational mobility. In recent years, we haven't seen how young people usually leave their place of origin to reach foreign countries in search for an improvement in their education to know a little more about the cultures and can be found in others' country and even in search of a new way of life. Baccalaureate exchange in Germany. The topic I choose is about extended stays abroad because all we will know to be able to reach this exchange, we must abide by some rules. Rules that a substitute family puts, which it was the person who decides to the exchange or stay. To complementing education shall visit the school on a regular basis, just as they will be doing in their home country. These programs have a duration of 6 to 12 months. These exchanges are intended to make the students an integral person, not only training in the language, but also to develop intercultural skills. This exchange can be carried out privately or through an exchange agency. As a curious fact and something that many of us did not know about this, that the first students that were sent to Germany in exchange were in 1949. For the year 1908, increased the demand of students in the form of exchange, and for 1990 the population of exchange was growing and also the agencies that promote this exchange. It is increasingly common to see years old doing this exchange since there is the most common age for secondary school and curious, they are usually women, as these show a greater interest in learning language. It is important to remember that the most students take a sabbatical and that many use it to spend time abroad and improve their language. This strategy is used in several institutions as a motivation for those who want to have their university education in abroad. But this exchange remain on the air. That is, they not only show up, spend their time abroad, and return to their normal life after a few months. Over time, they present a survey in which they answer questions about the host country, the family, if they wish to return abroad, how long they want to go there. This gave a high probability that the people who will carry to the exchange will return abroad. After this, I talked with some of the people and the communication they have had since their return with the family had hot stem, which show the link they may have created, the letters that are usually sent, among others. This exchange usually occur in the long term to have some improvement in your project, hoping to have a return of this abroad. This is my resume of this topic. I don't know if you have any question or I don't know.
Okay, dear partner, classmates, excuse me. I would like to contribution about your exposition. So I think that more and more university students want to make a student exchange as a part of their teaching program. And is that going to study for a while in another countries and experience that brings multiple gains in all areas of the student's life. So that's all. I think that the classmate Ivan can go ahead.
Hello, I'm Ivan Benavides. For this activity, I want to explain you about the topic teaching for understanding the year abroad, the thoughts on fostering the reflective learners. Okay, study in abroad is a great dream to us. For the reason I think that is a great opportunity to improve our skills. The overlap 60 years in many countries, the learning of the students in the abroad of time and the personal learnings, linguistic benefits, cultures and intercultural learnings, and new experience. New experience that are very important to us because we know the other culture, other people, other customs, other we have other experience. As we know, it's important to the students because in this place have socialized with other people, but there are many students that don't take advantages of the year abroad because when they returning happy, but without knowledge about to the language. I think that to improve this process is necessary to create an analysis to involve the learning of the students while abroad. As we know, the learning is necessary to any process. We can find some case where the people or the student thinks that being in the other country, that being in the foreign language in the other culture, they will return home with fluency. But this case is false because some students don't take advantages of this process. For example, they socialize with people of their culture and don't practice the second language. But there are many students that are aware of customs and cultures of the other country because they've been socialized with the native speakers and they practice the second language, in this case, the English. In this document, tell me about of the some course that create to the some careers. For example, there are the arts and business students where they say that it's important first the theories and then the practice. Also, it's important to know about the living and the other country and to know the cultural ideologies. Also, it's important to have the theories and the practice because it's a good experience when they speak with other natives. In this document, I can find some obstacles to the learning experience. And for example, the student have to understand all the content in the second language, and it's difficult because they go to the abroad to learn and don't understand the class. Other obstacles is that the people create groups, and this is a barrier because they speak in the native language and not practice the second language. A great use is the multimedia, for example, the Facebook, WhatsApp, because they practice also and learn vocabulary For example, read books, the newspaper, TV watch, and it's a great option to improve the qualities and these abilities. Drawing on the teachings and the learning knowledge, in conclusion, helps to instill in a student a sense of individual ownership because the learning is a great experience during abroad. The main idea to go to the abroad is learn and improve our skills and practice in order to have the good fluency and the cultural knowledge. Thanks. Do you have some?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have a comment on Ivan's topic. It is important to live this experience because it is something unique in life, and I think that we should all live in this way to gain experience, learn about culture, multi-benefits that we can have on a trip abroad, that this does not stay on the trip no more if not in follow-up of what was lived there. This is my comment. No more.
Well, actually about the one, actually consists the ability of people to assimilate information that surrounds them through observation, study, and experience is known as learning, but this learning capacity is not the same in all people. I think that the way the world forced them to be cautious with their conclusion, analyzing all the consequences of their actions before carrying them out. They always observe, attend, and pay attention to all the details for making any contribution. So I will continue with my topic. It's about opportunities and anxieties, a study of international students in the Trump era. So after the surprise victory of Donald Trump in December, winning the president of the United States of America, students and educators alike were concerned about what the victory would mean for the reputation of America as a welcoming this unsafe country, as well as one in that job opportunities are available to everyone. After all, one of the main promises of Donald Trump's campaign was to build a wall along the border between Mexico and the United States, literal figurative. While Trump won in the presidential elections, there was a set of anti-immigration policies that would trigger problems for foreign students at general level. One of the elements mentioned, for example, was the high cost of tuition fees, but there is also talk of not feeling welcome in the United States, consider about physical security in that country for the order and how rigorous immigration policies would be pointed out by Trump in his campaign. And indeed, the immigration policy of the most powerful country in the world has no signs of going to be flexible. Unlike international students continue to dispense with this destination to training in business management, and this movement has Trump's general intention to reduce immigration have left people worried, but in the United States and abroad, implying that the United States is no longer restrictive. to overseas arrivals, and therefore the country will no longer receive international students. Even American students are now less likely to study in their become country, according to reports. With other countries such as Canada, which now begin to receive more applications as a result. And these reactions are completely understandable, but it is important to remember that Trump's actions are not intended to reduce number of students or skilled workers in the country. Trump's messages are addressed to a group of people that Trump and his administration consider harmful to the United States. Now, if you plan to do this appropriate, or if these plans are too strong or not enough, it's not competent to evaluate it. Politics is a game of opinions, and if someone is right or wrong, it will depend on their personal perspective. However, what we can reiterate is that the United States continues to be a safe, wonderful place for students from all over the world. This way you love or hate Donald Trump, the American people will continue to be welcoming and receptive to international men and women who make the United States a phenomenal country in many ways. Especially in terms of education, if use policy goes this way or that, the reputation of the United States as one of the best, if not the best, of countries with international education is very unlikely to change, and neither does the recognition to the others to American zero. Well, so I think that that's all. Someone can go ahead.
I continue. My theme for this panel is effectiveness of having a language partner, descriptive analysis of language exchange program, University of Australia. To address his need for interaction with native speakers, the language exchange programs at Curtin University in Western Australia has been implemented since 2005. This paper report data that was collected over a period of 7 years about the effectiveness the led on second foreign language and student performance. The lecture is encouraged in dates with their language partners to review the oral exercise introduced each week. Moreover, a list of mock questions is provided approximately 2 weeks prior to the examination date, and students are encouraged to use this for intensive practice with their language partner. To evaluate these maps, identify how to the interaction with the native speakers of the Tiger language impacts how specific aspects the students' academic achievement. I consider among the attention has been given to the provision of the spirit with will spot students to the target language outside the classroom, or the ways in which the skill and logic acquired in that context might be applied to the class teaching and learning. For monitoring purpose, and lot is collected. Each week is verified how long the students have spent interacting with their language partners and what has taken place in interaction. These logs contribute 5% of the total student assignment. Therefore, this program is still considered to be supplementary activity and coaching necessary. Continue. Continue, Carmen.
Okay. Hello, Maria. Maria Alexandra. I think your topic is very important to know, because when we can have that opportunity to live with a person from other country, we can learn the correct pronunciation, and that is the first suggestion when we are learning English live, and try to be immersion in the language. So I I think that is important to know, when if we want to improve our skills in English, we need to make friends different countries, but sometimes we don't have enough money. We can get we can't get the visa maybe, but that is a good way when we couldn't travel and or study. And now I will continue with my topic. My reading, it's about teacher candidates' opinions on Erasmus student exchange program. That is okay. All the teacher consider that is a good experience. Go and study in other country, and because and these institutions like Erasmus give the opportunity to study to the students, take a good option to travel, and they they know how you can start to study, maybe work, and everything about how you can continue your study in other countries. So for example, if you have if you want to travel but you don't have the money, they can let you of the different banks to travel and pay everything when you have finished all your studies. You can pay that. It's a good strategy to study on the abroad. The program has other benefits like learn other cultures, because you are living with other people. You are speaking all the time, immersing all the time with in English or French or other, not just English. So that is a good strategy to get better education too. Like we know some countries don't have a good education, so with this kind of program we can go to the other countries with better educations. Like we know other thing, the most of the teachers said that it's a good way to, if you want to get a job, the first thing in our country they ask, have you been living in other country? If you want to use your English, the first question is that. So I think with these tools, with this kind of program, we can get the better education and more probabilities to get a better job. So I other thing, now we are, for example, we are learning English in Colombia, but it's so difficult because we are not listening all time English, and some teacher have been teaching to us the wrong pronunciation. So when we travel, we have the experience with a person from the other country, we understand and we know that we are not learning the correct pronunciation, the correct grammar. So the best way is try to be experienced like a change in a board. So that is all about my topic. I don't know if you have some question, any question on that?
I think that the you said is important because study in abroad is a great opportunity, and I think that it's relevant because there we can improve our skills and abilities to handle this language of the best way. For the reason, I would like to travel someday to gain experience, obtain new benefits about this language.
You're right, dear classmate.
Okay, with this contribution, we finally the discussion of the topic, of the activity, excuse me.
Thank you for everybody. Thank you for your comments, for share your readings, your opinions, and I think we have learned a lot about that topic.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, this is all for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. See you. See you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.